Temple in the gray Philly tops today, going from right to left. St. Joe's in the crimson, going from left to right. Layla Fair, the freshman, wins the tip, and the Hawks start with the basketball. Katie Jaycott running the point, 20 points for her, a season high against Penn on Sunday, or on Tuesday, I beg your pardon. She has it right wing. There's Fair, working on Williamson. Spins back to her right, uses the window but too strong. And Davis on the board. That's something that Temple has to stop, Nikki. Stop Layla Fair from getting to her right hand.
That's going to be an interesting matchup, especially if Williamson is guarding her. She's prone for foul trouble, and she's going to need to stay solid throughout this defensive matchup.
Davis cutting in. Rebound picked up by Nystrom. She's on the floor and tied up with Williamson. Basketball will stay with Temple. Our officials today, Carlina Tobin, Brian Brunette, and Tom Donahere. Too long from Jalen Holmes, and St. Joe's up the floor with Jaycott. Jaycott with 13 points in the first quarter on Tuesday against Penn. 4 of 5 from deep. Head coach Cindy Griffin said it's the best she's ever seen her shoot in a short stretch. There's Fair again on the block. Right corner three from Smith. High archer is good.
You know, exactly what I said. Whenever Fair gets the ball down low, she sucks in the defense, especially with Temple. They kind of turn their backs looking at that post player, which opens it up on the outside for those better shooters.
And that's decision time, right, for the Temple defense. What is the shot you want to give up there? Clinton on the right wing. Now it's Mayo. Davis, baseline, handoff. Williamson gets the roll.
And just like that, on the other side, you see Mia Davis also sucks in the defense very well. She has to be able to be a good passer to help her team get more points up.
This is a very interesting post matchup by my way of thinking it. And Cindy Griffin, the head coach for St. Joe's, characterized it like this. She said, we have the size, they have the quickness.
Yeah, and sometimes those kind of go hand in hand, depends on how you look at it. But, you know, quickness and size, it depends on how hard you work.
Smith quick there on the baseline. She has the first 5 for St. Joe's. They want to get her going downhill. Open up the floor a little bit for Jaycott on the outside. Holmes left wing. Skip pass for Clinton. Clinton for 3. Back iron won't go, and the board in the hands of Katie Jaycott.
Now, as Temple starts to kind of be forced to slow down on offense, that's where you see them take shots that aren't really what they want to do.
Mackenzie Smith with the first 7 for St. Joe's, driving from the right and now from the left. A takeover for Mackenzie Smith, the freshman guard. She had a season-high 17 points against Ball State 3 games ago. Davis for Clinton, and it's too tall.
And St. Joe's playing really great defense, keeping Temple outside of that three-point line. A lot of times when teams force them to do that, they just kind of get caught passing and standing. They need to get more offensive movement. It's
a little different defensive look for St. Joe's than we saw against Penn. They were really pressuring the perimeter that day as Jaycott misses long. And the rebound into the hands of Emani Mayo. Clinton in the corner. Drives baseline, floats across the block, and Williamson can't get the roll, fighting for the rebound, but it's picked up by Fair.
Oh, that's certainly frustrating. You're so close to the basket. There are a bunch of people around Williamson, but she has to go up strong.
Active hands there by Jaisha Clinton. It'll stay with St. Joe's. It was a great look across the block to Williamson, just couldn't finish. The inbound to Jaycott. The season high 20 points on Tuesday. Foul's going to go against Clinton. And now we get Anaya Gordine checking in. So this is going to be that two-guard look for Temple that worked so well for them against Duquesne. What do you like about this look with Gordine and Clinton both on the floor for the Owls?
Yeah, I think it just brings the balance for their offense. We have Jaisha Clinton, who's super fast. Sometimes she goes too fast for her own good. And then Gordine, she takes her time a little bit more, so it balances out their offense up top.
Smith double team this time. She still gets it to go. The first 9 of this game for St. Joe's belong to Mackenzie Smith.
Yeah, she's doing a great job. 4 for 4 from the field goal, from the field, and then 1 for 1 from the three-point line. So she's right now unstoppable. She hasn't missed any shots.
Coming into this game, she was 2 for her last 13 from the field. From ice cold to red hot. And it's pretty clear in the first few possessions here for Temple that they're trying to get the ball to Alexa Williamson on the block.
And that's a great idea. Alexa Williamson has that higher percentage shot down low, but she has to steal. She has to go up strong.
That'll give it right back to St. Joe's, and these are some of the turnovers that were plaguing Temple in the early part of the season before they went on this 3-game run. These unforced turnovers were giving Tanya Cardoza a real tough time. Poked out of bounds. It'll stay with St. Joe's.
And that's something, at least from last season, something that Temple also struggled with is taking care of the ball. They just really need to focus on not only finding your teammate, but looking and seeing where the defense is as well.
Smith from the elbow. Finds the cutting Jaycott. She's off to start this afternoon. Luckily, Smith has been picking up for her. Gordine to pull up. Not the sharpest shooting to start off from just about everybody not named Mackenzie Smith, who has the first 9 points of the game for St. Joe's. They are St. Joe's. Up 9-2 against Temple. And the Hawks will have it. Facing a press out of the timeout by Temple head coach Tanya Cardoza. They're trapping Jaycott. Floats it into the front court. Davis fighting with Fair, and it tips out of bounds. Well, one official had that going to Temple, and another had it to St. Joe's. So they're going to talk about this, and it'll go to Temple.
Yeah, great job. Great hustle by Mia Davis. It's just kind of one of those things everyone's trying to figure out how to grab onto the ball. But Temple doing a good job coming out strong after that timeout. Sometimes they don't do the greatest job of that.
A 6-0 run for St. Joe's. Gordine breaks it.
Naya Gordine, doing what is expected of her. Like I said, she plays with so much confidence. She knows how to get an easy basket and kind of get her team back into it.
Again, Temple trapping and pressing on St. Joe's. Katie Jaycott helping to break it. She's guarded by Gordine. Mayo in tight on Nystrom. Driving left hand, swiped by Emani Mayo.
She is one of those players. When her team needs her, she'll just randomly step up.
Now it's Jaycott taking it away from Gordine, but can't finish. Smith again. 11 for Mackenzie Smith.
She is just on fire right now. 11 points of St. Joe's 11 total points. And she's really just outscoring everyone on the court, especially this entire Temple team.
Already just 6 points removed from her season high. Again, that was against Ball State just 3 games ago. Jaycott weaving to the front court. It's Smith again trying to thread it through the 2 guards, Gordine and Clinton. And it'll go back to, or it'll stay with St. Joe's, St. Joe's bringing in a couple of subs as well as Kalia Henderson and Katie Mayock come out. Smith outscoring Temple 11-4. Henderson in the corner.
Smith has got to be tired at this point. I mean, they just had a timeout, but it's not easy to, just go on a run like that, especially coming out at the beginning of the game.
And Williamson having a tough time. She's missed a couple shots in the paint and now fumbles that ball out of bounds on the rebound. It'll stay with St. Joe's. Look, this was one of your keys to the game, Nikki, for St. Joe's to start fast today. and force the issue with Temple. They've come out, they've done that.
Yeah, come out aggressive. You don't want to, wait and see what your opponent is going to do. Take charge of the game and what's going on.
Now Mayock fresh off the bench, and she has the first Hawk points that don't belong to Mackenzie Smith.
And that was a great play there. A little give and go pass, pick and roll situation there. Temple really wasn't ready to guard that.
Who's going to come out and hit a shot for the Owls? Down by 9. Williamson had it swiped by Henderson, turned back over. Mayo off the glass.
Emani Mayo, she's trying to do it. What she's capable of to help her team get back in it.
Quick press break, and it's Mayock again. How clinical and surgical was that press breaker by the Hawks?
And, when you're breaking the press, you have to pass better or faster than the defense can guard you. If you dribble through it, you're not going to be too successful.
Here's Clinton, guarded by Jaycott. Mayo for 3. Off the mark, and Jaycott on the board. 9-point lead for St. Joe's. Temple ice cold. Henderson draws the foul. One of the things Cindy Griffin, St. Joe's head coach, said leading in the 83-point performance on Tuesday, but they are shooting a lot better, Nikki.
Especially when they get those, like I said, those points in the paint are key. Those are so high percentage shots down there, and a lot of the post players are more accurate than, a guard shooting a three-pointer. Up
and under from one of those posts. That's Taylor Brugler getting her first action of the game. She had a career-high 18 at Penn.
Offensively, I think St. Joe's does a great job of finding the openings on offense. They're not trying to force anything. They're literally taking what the defense is giving them.
And Jaycott gets her mitts in there to take it away. Smith on the head fake, driving on Davis. First miss from the floor for Mackenzie Smith. Davis for Clinton, step back. Rebound, Davis. She's got it.
And that's right now what Temple is missing. Mia Davis, we haven't seen much from her yet. Granted, St. Joe's is guarding her pretty aggressively, but she needs to figure out a way to take over, get more baskets underneath.
Her 4th rebound of the game. Those are her first points today. So now 19 points away is Davis from the 2,000-point mark in her career. She has passed 4,000 minutes played in her career with her first quarter effort this afternoon. Mayock guarded by Perea. Jaycott to slice. Turned over to Davis, trying to find Brugler. Davis. Now Clinton. Darting in, too strong with the right. 35 seconds to go first quarter. And a 9-point lead for St. Joe's. Quick ball movement. Mayock down low, blocked from behind by Perea. Temple looks like they're going to hold for the last shot in the quarter. Gourdine running the point. Sometimes you'll see this with Gourdine and Clinton out there. 2-guard look for the Owls. Clinton with 5 on the clock. Slices in, off the glass. Well, a good start to end the first quarter for Temple, but St. Joe's shooting over 50%. Had the first 11 for the Hawks. And in fact, Smith will be on the bench to start this second quarter. As Emma Boslett hands it off to Katie Jaycott, we're underway in the second stanza from Philadelphia. Brugler finds the cutter. That's fair. Tie up, and it'll go to Temple.
I just really love the way that St. Joe's moves the ball. They move the ball really well. They move it fast and efficiently, but then they're also finding the open player in this sequence as well.
They've been going high to low very well.
It's the inside-out game that really works well for them.
Davis guarded by Fair. Goes against the pick from Perea. Powering through, but couldn't get the roll. Pressure from Gordine. Jaycott wins it away.
And that's a nice attack by Mia Davis, going in, realizing we know that she's that player, but she has to figure out other ways to get the ball in the basket.
Brugler, baseline, kick out to Jaycott. There's that fast ball movement. Brugler draws the double. Henderson working on Gordine. Stripped from her, and Gordine hands it off to Mayo. Mayo driving, kisses the glass.
You know, if I had to pick anyone to run the fast break, I would pick Emani Mayo. She's very smart with what she's doing, her decision making, and, you know, she's not doing anything crazy, just making it simple.
You could see her waiting for Emma Boslett to get set so she could attack her on that drive. Jaycott. Little chippy down low there. There were Perea and Gordine in the post with Fair and Brugler. Clinton's going to check in for Gordine, who just picked up her second. Williamson back on the floor as well. Tierra East getting her first action for Temple. Stripped by Clinton. Back-to-back steals by Temple. The last one led to a Mayo fast break. Now it's Mayo top of the arc for East, her first touch. Too big look down low for Temple. Clinton and Davis crisscross. Clinton lost it. 3-ball Mayo is good.
Oh, Emani Mayo, I just love how calm and steady she is. She knows what she can do. She knows she can knock that shot down with confidence.
That's the first 3-ball of the game for Temple. They were 0 for their first 4. Mayo entering today shooting the 3 at just about 23%. Jaycott driving. Couldn't get the floater. Quick ball movement. Henderson off the back iron. Brugler. Couple of offensive rebounds. It's loose on the floor, and it'll go to Temple. Off-ball foul on Brugler. It's 2 offensive rebounds, though, on that possession by St. Joe's.
Yeah, great job by St. Joe's, but Temple, you need to put a body on someone. It's no reason why you have that inside possession that, you know, your opponent's getting multiple back-to-back offensive rebounds.
And for St. Joe's, the one troubling thing for them in this second quarter, the giveaways. They had a season-low 7 turnovers at Penn on Tuesday, but turnovers have hurt them a bunch in letting teams back into games. It's helped Temple get back within 2. Perea gives that one away, and it's St. Joe's.
Certainly not the best pass to make in that sequence.
Jaycott on the bounce for Brugler. Back for Jaycott. Catch and shoot. And the triple is good from Jaycott.
And again, it's that ball movement that's really helping St. Joe's play as good as they're playing right now.
Katie Jaycott is a very good catch-and-shoot three-point shooter. She did that very well over the last couple of games. 4 of her first 5 from 3 on Tuesday. A lot of those sort of looks, low to high catch-and-shoot. Perea can't answer. Davis threading through. Back to a 3-point game.
Right now, that's going to be Mia Davis's best bet, is crashing the boards. She does a good job of kind of finding the ball in that situation and going back up strong.
She has 5 of the first 8 Temple rebounds. Foul underneath is against Perea. That'll send Smith to the line. Haven't seen Mackenzie Smith score since she had the first 11 for the Hawks. She's nearly an 82% shooter from the stripe. One of 2 for Smith.
Yeah, with the way that she started out playing, I can imagine her kind of finding her rhythm to get back in that again.
And St. Joe's trying to force the issue on Temple with this press. Mayo working on Nystrom. One of their best defensive players, number 5, Julia Nystrom, a real pest on the perimeter. Now Perea. Williamson with 5 to shoot. Clinton off the screen, takes a second, and drills it at the buzzer. What poise from Jaysha Clinton.
Yeah, and seeing that defense come really helped her out, really helped her kind of find her footing before taking that three-point shot.
Jaysha Clinton, Big 5 Rookie of the Year last year. Back to a 1-point game. Fair twisting in the post. Perea gets her mitts on it. Not once, but twice.
Yeah,
Williamson the other way.
Great defense down low. You really want to find a way to guard that post player without fouling.
Now to Williamson. Oh, that would have given Temple the lead. The left-hand floater misses too strong.
I think Temple really performs well when they can get that high-low between Davis and Williamson, but one of the two needs to find a way to make that layup.
Smith airballs. Brugler. Smith stripped by Davis. Here comes Clinton. 3-on-1 the other way for Mayo. And a lead for the Owls. Their first of the afternoon. And a timeout for St. Joe's.
Defense most of the first quarter, but now they're more offensive-minded in the second.
Look, Nikki, you put the bullseye right on your back when you come into a Big 5 tilt and you wear a Philly jersey.
That's a good point.
That's a gutsy wardrobe move by
I like
Tanya
it.
Cardozo.
I actually want one.
Nystrom out of the timeout with Jaycott up top. First timeout used by 21st year head coach Cindy Griffin for St. Joe's. This is Fair going to work on Williamson. And Davis on the board, her 6th of the game.
This is going to be, like I said, a really good matchup for Williamson to stay out of foul trouble.
Travel will give it up. Emani Mayo with a good look from the corner.
Yeah, I love that Emani Mayo is really just a role player for Temple, but when necessary, she knows how to step up and get those points. Right now, she has 9 points, 4 for 5 from the field, and that's not something we see a lot from her, but it's working.
And 3 boards as well. Kickball on Mayo. It'll stay with St. Joe's. You see her average for the year for Mayo, outpacing that average by more than 6 points today.
Yeah, a lot of times she's just on defense and gets those big kind of steals and big moments there, but today she's all offense.
Tanya Cardozo wanted to travel there. Jaycott didn't have full control. Tried to scoop with the left. Punched out by Perea. And Davis can't scoop the loose ball. Tie up, though, with Fair. It'll stay with St. Joe's. Good effort by Davis.
Good effort by Davis, I agree with you. But Temple as a whole, they have to box out. A lot of times we see St. Joe's crashing the boards and Temple's not putting a body on them. And then you get possessions like this where it's a 50-50 ball, and it goes back to St. Joe's.
Temple is being out-rebounded 17-10 in this game. Jaycott nails the triple, and St. Joe's takes the lead right back. Second 3 of the game for Jaycott.
And right now, St. Joe's shooting 60% from the three-point line. They're doing a good job of making those shots. As we can see, Jaysha Clinton as well making those shots on the other side for her team.
The answer and the lead for Jaysha Clinton, her second triple of the contest. Temple in front by 1 again. Owls played a back-and-forth game Sunday at Duquesne. 7 ties, 8 lead changes. Davis gets her first foul. Emma Boslett checks in. Now Jaycott. Float pass turned over. Looking for Fair. The pass by Nystrom picked off by Williamson. Clinton. Around for Davis. Williamson draws the double, and a reach-in foul is called on Boslett. You got to watch out for Emma Boslett. She has very active hands on the defensive side of the ball, but got in a little bit too tight there.
Yeah, for both of these post players, Williamson as well as Fair, they put the ball down when they get the ball in the post. Those guards can do a good job of digging down and getting a lot of steals that way.
There's Boslett nearly causing a turnover. She had 2 steals on Tuesday at Penn. A career high 23 minutes for her as well. 5 to shoot. Davis takes it herself. Missed everything, and Boslett to take it the other way. 1 point lead for Temple. Jaycott for the lead. St. Joe's back on top. Katie Jaycott drills another triple.
I think it's very clear right now you cannot leave St. Joe's open at the three-point line. They're very confident with those three-pointers, and they shoot them and release them really fast.
Even missing one of their best three-point shooters today, as Clinton can't answer. Their number 2 three-point threat, Elena Gribble, appears to be out again. Missed the game on Tuesday. She was dressed today, but we have not seen her. Brugler. Right corner triple. Rattles out of the hands of Nystrom. Turned over by Davis. Cross-court pass, and Brugler on the finish. Jaycott the dish, and a 4-point lead for the Hawks.
I think Temple kind of had it easy for that rebound and then was careless with the ball trying to go back on offense.
We've seen a lot of full-court pressure, even if it's just one player providing that pressure, that has caused some havoc for Temple as they give it away again. Jaycott. Here's Boslett. Curling in, lost the ball. Jaycott for 3 again. Katie Jaycott with her 4th triple of the game. 4 of 5 from deep for Jaycott and 12 points.
I love that she's really taken advantage of the missed defensive assignments of Temple. She sees that she's wide open. Her teammates trust that she's going to knock it down, and she's been doing just that.
And Temple's turnovers have them on an over 2.5-minute scoring drought. Perea trying to break it. Can't do it. Rebound to Fair, nearly tipped away by Davis. And St. Joe's will get the last possession of the first half. They lead by 7. Jaycott pushed away from the basket. Turned over to Perea, and that's how the first half will come to a close. St. Joe's ends the first half on an 8-0 run over the last 2 minutes. Tanya Cardoza was hoping that game would be a catalyst for her team to get rolling. They've won 3 in a row. Can they come back against St. Joe's, as they have had to do each of the last 3 games? They've been behind by double digits in each of their last 3 wins. Down by 7, entering the second half. Off-ball foul, an offensive foul on Alexa Williamson. That's a tough start for Temple. Owls pressing a little bit. Jaycott up the floor. Marcicano for Jaycott. Gets the bite, and the triple is good. Tying her career high is Katie Jaycott with that, her 5th triple.
And great job just stepping out, finding that open spot, seeing the defense, and then knocking it down. She's making it look really easy.
10-point lead for St. Joe's, and they cause a turnover. Throwing a different look at Temple in this second half. They were in a 2-3 zone in the first half. They're in man-to-man to start the second half.
Yeah, I would assume that St. Joe's is kind of going to play both, a little bit of man, a little bit of zone. I think the zone really worked well for them, but I mean, playing man won't hurt them either as long as they can stay solid and out of foul trouble.
10-point lead for St. Joe's. Katie Jaycott just hitting her 5th three-pointer of the game, 5 of 6 from deep. Clinton darts inside and has the answer.
And that's what Jaysha Clinton normally does. We haven't seen that a lot of that from her, but she can certainly win in a foot race against any person that's guarding her.
She is so quick. Now 10 points for Clinton. Double team on Nystrom, gets it free to Fair. Wrapped around for Smith. Threading inside. Tipped away, it'll go back to Temple.
A little bit of a slow start from both of these teams. No one's really doing anything special so far.
Clinton gets the switch. Holmes with Marsicano on her. Clinton pressured by Nystrom.
And this is a possession where you kind of just see them standing around, and then next thing you know, it's 5 seconds left on the shot clock.
Holmes catch and shoot for 3.
Well, Jalen Holmes, she certainly can knock it down. She's been struggling a little bit from her team, but she just has to get her confidence up and get those reps in.
At the start of the year, that's what Tanya Cardoza said. She's capable of scoring. She just needs the confidence. Well, she scored 11 on Sunday at Duquesne. Back to a 5-point game. Quick ball movement. Jaycott for 3. Off the mark. Just her second missed three-pointer of the game, and Mia Davis with her 8th rebound. Here's Mayo for 3. Too long, and Jaycott on the board. Weaving into the front court. Nystrom draws the double team. Finds the cutting Smith. Gets her way out of a double team. 10 seconds to shoot. Fair. Twisting on Davis. Great finish by Layla Fair.
Yeah, I like that when she gets the ball, she keeps it high. She doesn't need to do anything special because she does have that height advantage over her defenders.
Her first points of the game for Layla Fair, who had averaged 16 in her last 2 contests. Smith will pick that up. And pushing the pace. Smith. Offensive foul. Emani Mayo there to draw the charge.
Mayo is really doing it all for her team. She's scoring well on offense, and she does have a lot of those big defensive possessions, getting out, running back in defensive possession, and getting in front of her offender.
And a great job to sell that with Smith driving down the lane. Mayo with 9 points and drawing that offensive foul to give Temple the basketball. Mayo with it. Slings for Holmes. Davis, baseline. Knocks down the bunny. 5-point game again.
Now, Mia Davis is pretty crowded when she's down low in the paint, but taking the step out in that short corner or even in the elbow, playing out there will be a little bit better for her at this point.
Fair gets the double team. Nystrom. Jab stepping. Gets the pick from Marsicano and the switch to Holmes. Jaycott driving, left hand, threads through, finishes, and the foul. "17 points for Katie Jaycott.
Just being aggressive, going to the lane. She found that opening really well and went up strong, knowing that there's a few defenders around her.
Clinton with her first foul. Check that, her second foul. Temple's second of the quarter. Jaycott for the three-point play. 2 points away from tying the career-high 20-point mark she set on Tuesday. Gordine now for Davis. Temple breaks the press. Clinton, the triple, rattles out. Jaysha Clinton coming off of that foul looking for her third three-pointer.
I would say that's a decent shot for them, but then as you look down low, there's no one there for Temple to rebound that ball.
Turned over, Williamson gets her hands in. They don't get the board, but they get the steal, and now Gordine will run the point. This is that two-guard look. They've got two guards and two bigs out there. Gordine and Clinton, the guards. Davis now with the ball on the baseline. Drives in and one.
Now, Mia Davis, once she takes a step out, she's a quick post player. She can beat a lot of her defenders off the.
Joes wouldn't have one of their best defensive players, Julian Nystrom from Sweden. Nystrom's on the floor now as Davis tries to convert the three-point play. She does. That's 9 for Davis. Speaking of top scorers in program history, we've got the number 1 all-time scorer here for St. Joe's in Susan Lavin, and Mia Davis, number 2 all-time for Temple in scoring, inching up to the 2,000-point mark. She needs 12 more today to get there. Henderson on Clinton. Kisses the glass. And a 7-point lead again for the Hawks. Mayo directs traffic. Davis guarded by Jaycott. For Gordine. Takes it inside. Can't float it home. Williamson the board. Blocked out of bounds. Temple not moving a ton off the ball, Nikki. They're passing the ball a lot around the perimeter. Still getting some looks on the drive, but we were talking before, you'd like to see them move off ball more. Davis draws the foul, no bucket.
Yeah, they're really just playing into St. Joe's hands. St. Joe's is playing a 2-3 defense and forcing Temple to stay outside, and they're doing exactly that.
Katie Jaycott a little bit slow to get up there. Oh, yeah, that was Davis's right elbow came down on her. Yeah, good on the first 10 points for her as Jaycott now coming onto your screen a bit on the left side, just trying to wipe away some of that bruise or whatever it is from her nose. You can see kind of redness on her face after that contact. There's Jaycott quickly up the floor. Marcicano into the corner. Boslett driving. Marcicano. Henderson climbs for the board.
Another offensive rebound by St. Joe's.
Henderson off the iron, out of bounds. It'll stay with St. Joe's. They have been phenomenal on the offensive glass. That is 10 offensive rebounds out of their 26 total boards for the Hawks, as you see Katie Jaycott still trying to recover from that contact for Mia Davis. Jaycott for 3. Too short. On the push, here's Clinton.
And that's exactly what Temple wants to do, get the ball out in transition, get those easy transition buckets. But, St. Joe's is really kind of keeping them in a half-court offensive set, not allowing them to do so.
3-point game again. Temple wants to get out and run. Turned over, pass too tall, and Davis the other way. Pushing the pace. Mayo for 3. That would have tied it. The rebound to Jaycott. Mayo the pressure. Here's Henderson. Marcicano for 3. And draws the foul. Mia Davis with a little bit too much pressure on Marcicano, so the bucket no good, but 3 foul shots coming for Marcicano.
It's tough right now for Temple because they're so close to, coming back into the game, tying it up or getting in the lead, and then they make little mistakes like this, and next thing you know, St. Joe's goes on another run.
Mia Davis with her second foul, team's third. Marcicano good on the first. Hasn't been at the stripe much this year, 3 of 4 from the line. One more for her after the foul beyond the three-point arc by Mia Davis. 2 of 3 for Marcicano. Got a 5-point lead for St. Joe's. Press again from St. Joe's. Tipped there by Boslett. Across the timeline to Mayo.
Yeah, that's a great decision by St. Joe's to press, knowing that Temple's prone to turn the ball over. That's an easy way to get the ball back in your hands to get some couple points on offense.
Now Mayo. Davis driving on Jaycott, got her mitts in there and swiped it.
Mia Davis is trying to figure out a way to make something happen, but again, if Temple's not moving offensively, then it's going to be extremely hard for her.
Henderson off the heel. Gourdine in transition, turned over again. Henderson got her hand in, and another steal by St. Joe's on back-to-back possessions.
And that's the second time Temple trying to drive into the paint, knowing that St. Joe's has packed the paint defensively. There's nowhere to go there. If you drive in, try to kick it out for a shot a little bit further away from the basket.
That's the whole point of the 2-3 zone they're running, as Brugler misses the 3 and the rebound to Gourdine. St. Joe's knows Temple wants to get inside, and they're trying to force the Owls to shoot from outside. Who's going to hit a shot? Temple down 5. Davis, baseline drive, draws the foul on Fair.
And that's such a better possession for Mia Davis. Like I said, she's trying to post up down low. There's so many St. Joe's players around her. If she catches it a little bit further out, then it's more of a one-on-one situation, and then she can kind of make a different decision there.
Foul on Fair is her second. St. Joe's fourth. And Davis with 12 points now. 9 away from 2,000. Eight from 2,000. And back to a three-point game as Alexa Williamson checks in.
That's another key that Temple's been missing. We've seen Alexa Williamson be electric down low in the post, but she hasn't really been able to find her way. But I think, again, it really goes back to just moving on offense.
Isn't it interesting, too, that Williamson is coming in for Davis? They're not having both of them out on the floor right now. Pressure on the press. That was Mayo and East there, but St. Joe's breaks it. Boslett for 3. Hand in her face, but gets the roll. Emma Boslett drills it with Tiara East flying in. 6-point game again with a minute to go in the third.
And by the way that St. Joe's is playing to get back in transition, I think they're completely unaffected by what defense Temple is playing against them.
There's the 2-3 zone again by the Hawks. And Boslett with the block on East. Jaycott the other way. Ten-second difference, shot clock and game clock. Fair. Twisting on Williamson. Tie-up is called. It'll stay with St. Joe's. Interesting substitution here. We're seeing Kyra Wood, the 6'3 freshman, for the first time, checking in for Corinda Perea.
She's a good player to progress for Temple, but she just needs to be a little bit stronger, but we'll see.
Well, they ran the screen on her there.
Yeah, I was going to say we'll see what she can do, but, you know, sometimes those positions are hard for freshman point guard or post players to adjust to.
Mayo for 3. High arcing triple rattles out as the third quarter clock expires. So St. Joe's will take an 8-point group. Is that, especially in the last few games, they have done a great job of putting the prior quarters behind them, not getting hung up on their shortcomings early on. Can they do that and erase an 8-point deficit in the fourth in a Big Five matchup against St. Joe's? Williamson traveled on the first possession out of the fourth quarter, and we've seen this a few times now, Nikki, coming out of timeouts and quarter breaks where Temple's first possession ends with a giveaway. They'll try to get it back with a press.
That's also very similar to how they start the game as well. They don't start the game well. Sometimes they don't start, coming out of timeouts and half times well either, and that kind of sets the tone for everything else.
Boslett around the pressure and drains a triple.
I think one thing's for sure, St. Joe's definitely knows how to come out strong, and I think they've been starting strong each quarter of this game so far.
A team that usually doesn't shoot threes like this, over 50%. They're about a 30% average on the year. Clinton with the answer. Her third three-pointer of the game.
We've seen Jaisha Clinton she's able to knock down those threes. We haven't really seen her be consistent this season, but she's certainly capable of making that happen.
Fair. Working on Williamson. Blocked by Williamson. And Davis draws the reach-in foul.
I really like the way that Williamson has played defense today. We've seen her get in a lot of foul trouble throughout the season. She's getting a lot better on that post defense, just being able to keep her hands up, stay solid, and not foul.
Talia Brugler is coming in for St. Joe's, replacing Layla Fair. And it was a great job there to stay with Fair, who is so shifty in the post.
Yeah, and Fair is not really covering much ground when she's playing offensively. Just kind of, pivot turnaround thing, but she's really in the same position, so it should be pretty easy to guard her.
And now drawing the foul on Emma Boslett. So Alexa Williamson doing a little bit of everything at the start of this fourth quarter. Yes, she traveled on the first possession, but a great block and draws the foul on Boslett. Williamson. Turn around and hit. How about Alexa Williamson with the left-hand hook?
And that's what this team's been missing. They need to have a post presence. These post players cannot take possessions off.
The turnover. It's going to be a kick ball. Called by our official, Carlina Tobin.
And great job, Alexa Williamson, using her length to grab that pass and just keeping it up high, going up strong.
6-point game. Back to 8. Big bucket for Henderson.
And knowing how Temple's guarding St. Joe's, you know that you can get those easy curls to the basket just like she did.
They work it around. Gordine. Clinton driving, handoff, Davis through traffic, and one!
Mia Davis, pass, she cut to the basket. Defense kind of lost her for a moment, and she does a great job of going up strong no matter who's in her way.
15 points for Mia Davis. She needs 6 more to get to 2,000. Make it 5 more.
Once again, you get that pass down low. Jaisha Clinton drew that defense, and then Mia Davis kind of wide open for a split second, just enough to get her that ball to go up and get those buckets.
5-point game again. Jaycott, all sorts of room. Slithers inside and pulls it out. Brugler wide open, up and under. They just lost Talia Brugler.
And this is where the focus really needs to be important and really needs to be a priority. Temple's made a couple great possessions offensively, and then defensively they kind of forget that they need to defend as well.
Tanya Cardoza has lauded this team's defensive focus over the last 3 games. Absent on that possession. Clinton slicing and drawing the foul. Trying to thread in between 2 crimson jerseys, and this is something Temple's done very well in this fourth quarter. They have forced St. Joseph's on the inside, right? They're forcing St. Joseph's into contact and foul trouble.
Yeah, and that's what they were missing. You have to drive in, force them to guard you, and then the people around you on the perimeter are going to be open.
Here's Gordine. Floater is short and goes out of bounds. For St. Joe's, it's their fourth foul. That foul was on Henderson, her first. Temple pressing. They'll back off for Boslett. Jaycott, 2 points away from her second straight 20-point game. A career-high Tuesday at Penn. Boslett draws the foul on Gordine. First of the quarter against Temple. Third foul on Anaya Gordine. Inbound pass to Jaycott. Marcicano back for Jaycott. Boslett gets the pick and the switch to Williamson. High pass, quick movement, turned over to Gordine. Looking for Marcicano, and she fumbled it. Clinton, float pass looking for Davis, was too tall. Defensive pressure on one end, and then Clinton maybe playing a little bit too fast and forcing the issue on the other.
Yeah, great awareness for Temple down low. Seeing that, we know that St. Joe's moves the ball very well. They can find those open players down low. This time Temple was a little bit of ahead, but got ahead of themselves and turned the ball over.
Jaycott across the timeline. Again, Temple has trailed by as many as double digits in each of their last 3 wins. As Jaycott puts that one in. Check that, Marcicano puts it in.
And that's a little bit too easy for Temple. You just have to communicate. If you communicate, easy pick and rolls won't happen like that.
9-point lead again for St. Joe's. Swatted out of bounds by Boslett. It'll stay with Temple as Coranda Perea checks in for the Owls.
Perea has been solid defensively as well. She's been another player down low that's been able to be a presence and not allow St. Joe's post players to get easy buckets.
And in these last 3 games, she has been one of the difference makers during the winning streak, getting a lot more minutes and having a big impact on both ends of the floor. Perea can't hit that one. Gordine, the rebound, and the putback.
And crashing the boards. Great job by Gordine. Seeing that that shot may not go in, being there for the rebound, going up strong.
And how about that? It's 2 of those bench players that have been so impactful during this winning streak connecting with Perea and Gordine. Gordine averaging nearly 12 points a game in the last 3 games. She was averaging 3 points per game in her first 5. Floater connects on the answer by Marcicano. She's had the last 2 buckets for St. Joe's. 9-point lead again.
Great job by St. Joe's by seeing that pick and roll is open. You have to realize how the defense is guarding you, and they're doing a great job finding that rolling player.
Clinton with the heat check and answers to pull Temple back within 7. St. Joe's up by very well, and it's helped them to this 7-point lead this afternoon.
Yeah, I think it just goes down to discipline and, trusting your teammates, finding your teammates, sharing the ball well. And I think it doesn't really matter who's the leading scorer as long as someone is scoring.
And again, they are without, again today, one of their number 1 3-point threats in Elena Gribble. She and Katie Jaycott, who has the ball now, are their biggest threats from the outside. But Gribble again absent today as she was Tuesday. Here's Jaycott. Triples off the mark. That would have given her a new career high. Clinton on the run for Gordine. Davis back to Gordine. Heat check 3. Rattles out. It was Holmes trying to climb in and get that board. Tipped off her hands.
Certainly not the best shot to be taken in the possession. I agree with taking a 3 because they're down, but you just want it to be more in rhythm.
What a find. Smith to Marcicano. Levin Marcicano on those little rolls down low has been deadly. That's 6 points in the fourth quarter for her.
And I say, if it's not broke, don't try to fix it. Keep going for it. Temple hasn't found a way to stop that pick and roll, so keep trying to make it work.
Davis, no. Holmes, tie up, wins it. Holmes draws the contact and the foul. What an aggressive board by Jalen Holmes.
It's a little frustration there. You get that rebound around, make them the team that they know that they can be.
Down by 9 with about 3.5 minutes left to play in the fourth. That effort by Holmes nets her a couple of foul shots. Katie Jaycott called for the foul. Holmes misses the first. That was her first free throw attempt of the season. Oh for 2, and the board to Smith. And a foul on Mayo. Tierra East is going to make a quick check-in here. Second foul of the quarter by Temple. First on Mayo as Holmes checks out and East comes in. This Mayo sub could be as much about defense as it is about getting somebody else on the floor who can hit from deep, as Boslett draws the foul on Clinton.
Yeah, those hand check fouls really can be tough to, try to just stay away from. You want to play solid defense, but it is hard to keep your hands off.
I was under the impression, Nikki, that you loved hand check fouls. Post player that you are. Smith around to Brugler, and now Jaycott. Nobody's near. Mayo comes in now. Smith. Jaycott again. Darts in. Left-hand floater won't go. That would have given her 20 points for the second game in a row. But the scoop shot is short at the buzzer. Under 3 to play, fourth quarter. Do the Owls have a run? Gourdine guarded by Smith. Gets the switch on Jaycott and draws another foul. 2 shots for Gourdine. Jaycott with her second, and Temple gets into the bonus.
I like that she can take players off the dribble and just go up to the basket aggressively. Hopefully Temple can kind of get that out of her just a little bit more, maybe setting a ball screen for her to drive to the basket more.
Freshman of the week in the American last week. Last 3 games averaging nearly 12 points per game. She was averaging 3 in the first 5. Hits 1 of 2. And brings Temple back within 8. Heavy press from the Owls. And a timeout called by Cindy Griffin. They want to get another look at this. There's
about 15 minutes away from us right now.
You got a score check for me?
Yes. 5 minutes left in the first half. St. Joe's winning 32-14. So both of these Temple teams not really doing well today against these St. Joe's women's and men's basketball teams.
Less time for these Owls to come back against St. Joe's at McGonigal Hall. 2.5 to play, fourth quarter. Gourdine applies the pressure on Jaycott, and a foul on Gourdine. As Jaycott forces the contact, Gourdine called for her 4th foul, and the 4th on Temple in this quarter. So Gourdine's now in serious foul trouble.
I think Gourdine actually picked up 2 quick fouls early in the first half, so she's kind of been treading the line throughout this matchup today.
Now it's Davis to apply the pressure, or Mayo, on Jaycott. And there's another foul, that one on Mayo, who's frustrated with the officiating crew.
So what's very interesting about these hand check fouls, you can physically touch someone once, and no matter how gentle or how aggressive that second touch is, it is also a foul.
So now
kind of
both
can't
teams
get away
in the
from
bonus.
that.
And it'll send Jaycott to the line. 19 now for Jaycott. That first touch was kind of subtle, no, by Mayo?
Yeah, and I think the second one as well, but you just cannot do it twice. And especially if you have to realize how the refs are calling the game. Sometimes they'll let it go, but I think they've been doing a good job of keeping up with those calls.
Jaycott with the steal. A 10-point lead for St. Joe's. And Katie Jaycott with her second straight 20-point game. Another Temple foul. Gordine with her fifth, and she'll foul out. Jalen Holmes is going to come in. And a timeout.
I don't think it's a timeout. I think it's just that extra few seconds the coach has to put a sub in for Gordine, who fouled out.
And Cindy Griffin using that time to huddle a bit before Jaycott heads to the line. Katie Jaycott with 20 points, tying the career high she set on Tuesday against Penn. And now a new career high for the grad student from Enola, Pennsylvania. 21 for Jaycott. That's 22, and the biggest lead of the game for St. Joe's, 12 points. Hawks looking for a 3-game win streak. Inside, Davis the answer. 18 points for Davis. She needs 3 more for 2,000 on her career. Jaycott, coast to coast, weaves back and takes more time off the clock. Pressured by Mayo. Hands up, doesn't want to foul. Both teams in the bonus. Mayo very careful with that left arm. Taken away by Clinton. On the run. And off the window.
A nice sneaky play by Jaisha Clinton, realizing that the ball is kind of loose and she has the opportunity to pick that ball off and get a quick 2 points.
Flying in and flying down the floor. And now Mayo and Davis get the tie-up. And a timeout taken.
Was ahead by 7 in that first quarter, and everything else was pretty balanced. And, if Temple was able to start the game out strong, I think it would be a little bit of a closer game right now.
One of the big factors in this game, 11 points to start the contest by Mackenzie Smith. She had the first 11 for the Hawks as Jaycott draws the foul on Clinton. Again, both teams over the limit.
Right now, Smith only has 12, but, I don't think that is the bigger picture. The bigger picture is that she, started out strong, got her team on the right track, and then kind of followed suit after that. So it's nice that, she kind of stepped aside and someone else stepped up to follow suit.
And Jaycott has stepped up now with 23 points. It was that fast start by Smith that got the Hawks off and running. Jaycott misses the second 9-point game. Approaching a minute to go. Clinton all the way to the cup. She's so fast, and she can take over with that speed.
Yeah, and I think she did a great job of keeping her head up, seeing that opening, going to the also on the defensive end.
Jaisha Clinton with a season-high 21 points, 10 more than her prior season high. Career high is 23. Heavy press. Mayo on Jaycott. Jaycott dribbles through it and passes across the timeline to Boslett. Under a minute to go. Boslett, guarded by her number mate Waleed, checking in for the first time today. Marsicano for Smith. East on her. Boslett, 5 to shoot. Wide open 3 and knocks it down. A huge triple by Emma Boslett, back to a 10-point game.
Yeah, great last possession by St. Joe's. That's what they've been doing all game, moving the ball well, forcing Temple to guard them, and then that last shot is the very best shot that they could have taken.
Now Clinton to the line. A 3 by Emma Boslett that might have just sealed it for St. Joe's. Clinton now with 22, 1 away from tying a career high, as St. Joe's looks to get back to even in Big Five play. Second free throw no good. A win for St. Joe's, and they'll be at 2-2 in Big Five contest this year. Temple will fall back to even at 1-1. Owls would see a 3-game winning streak come to a close, and St. Joe's would extend its winning streak to 3 after losing 6 straight.
And that's very shocking. I was just looking at St. Joe's record, 3-6 right now. The way that they're playing today, it doesn't seem like they're 3-16.
Jaycott further extending her career high, 24 points now. They are scoring in these last 2 games at Penn and at Temple at a clip that would shock you to learn they're averaging under 60 points a game. Clinton across the timeline and buries the long 2. Jaysha Clinton now with a career high 24.
And Temple's playing with a sense of urgency in the fourth, but they need to kind of mirror what this
against Princeton. The stat sheet says we're not getting in the gym enough, and sometimes you get performances like Clinton, but they're not getting secondary scoring as much as they would like. Foul by Davis on Marsicano. Foul by the free throw by Marsicano misses. It's 1 of 2. Cindy Griffin eagerly awaiting her St. Joe's team to close out a 3-game win streak. It'll go back to the Hawks. This should just about do it. They had lost 6 in a row. They then beat a pair of Ivy League teams, Yale and Penn, and they're about to win their 2nd straight Big Five contest. Jaycott up the floor. The leading scorer with a career-high 25 points dribbles it out. And the Hawks head on the road across town to Temple and beat the Owls by 10.